Domestic violence is such a form of violence which is prevalent yet invisible. Violence remains a serious area of concern for women with disabilities, both as an individual experience and a structural reality that systematically oppresses them. In this video, we will be taking you through the PWDV Act. The Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005 PWDVA is the law which has defined the forms of domestic violence and those who are aggrieved. PWDVA seeks to protect women from all forms of domestic violence and check harassment and exploitation by family members or relatives. The first and immediate consequence if a woman complains against domestic violence is dispossession, throwing the woman out of her house and taking custody of her children. The PWDVA protects a woman against this and empowers her to claim immediate maintenance and compensation. Domestic relationships under the PWDVA include mothers, wives, sister-in-laws, daughters, daughter-in-law, and women in marriage-like relationships not recognized by law. However, this act does not include the violence faced by women with disabilities. Violence in multiple forms. This may be perpetrated by any family member living a life full of fear and multiple consequences, leading in many cases to psychosocial disability and women being institutionalized. Women with intellectual disabilities may be targeted by using forced sterilization, and all women with disabilities may face forced abortion on the fear that the woman may give birth to a child with disability. Physical violence, beating, slapping, hitting, biting, kicking, punching, pushing, shoving, or causing bodily injury or pain in any other manner. In case of disability, it may mean taking away their assistive devices, wheelchairs, hearing aids, and medicines. Physical abuse may be preceded by a threat of violence, for example, forcing you to marry a second wife, or marrying another woman after marrying you. Continuous verbal violence and name-calling using disability, for example, calling someone a cripple, taking away your dignity. Emotional violence, insults, name-calling as per disability, accusations on your character or conduct, yelling and screaming, preventing you or child in your custody from attending school, college, or any other educational institutions. The most common in relation to disability is forbidding and preventing women with disabilities from going outside the home. Also, not allowing them to marry because of their disability. Economic violence, not providing you money for maintaining you or your children, not providing food, shelter, medicines, etc. for you and your children, preventing you from meeting any person in normal course. Not allowing use of clothes, articles or things of general household use, not paying rent if staying in a rented place. Prevention of work, stopping you from carrying on your employment, taking away your salary, income, wages, etc. Preventing you from taking up a job, forcing you to leave a job, preventing you or the child in your custody from leaving the house. Sexual abuse, demanding sexual favors in return for help, unwanted sexual touch, rape, molestation, taking advantage of disability by forcing unwanted sexual activity, showing pornography. The PWDV Act recognizes physical, economic, sexual, and verbal and emotional abuse as forms of domestic violence. What you need to do. First, raise your own voice. Talk to your friends and relatives about it. Take help of an NGO if needed. Under the PWDVA, protection officers have been appointed, designated along with service providers to help the women. The aggrieved woman who is in a domestic relationship with the respondent can approach the protection officer, SDJM court, to file a domestic incident report. The aggrieved woman can ask for protection order, residence order, order for monetary relief, custody of children, compensation order, and any ex parte order. Or you can go to the police. You can also go to court. As per Legal Service Authority Act, Section 12C, women and children are entitled for free legal services. One-stop centers are also available to provide help to women affected by domestic violence. These centers are to provide different services such as medical, legal, shelter, police, psychosocial counseling support under one roof to victims of violence. What we do: help women with disabilities to join the Women with Disabilities India network, which enables women with disabilities to come forward with their issues, which are then taken forward by the network. This includes calling on MPs to pass an amendment to the Act, writing to the Ministries of Law, Health, Women and Child, asking the Disability Department to call for a meeting of the other departments concerned to discuss the change, writing to the Prime Minister's office, raising the issues in Parliament through a known MP in the Parliament, starting a campaign to make relevant changes.